Today's topic is DC transients. So basically transients are of two types, DC and AC. Okay, in that DC transients, we have source-free circuits, we have source-free circuits, we have sourced circuits, and in that circuits, so basically the circuits are of three combinations. It can be RL circuit, it can be RC circuit, or it can be RLC circuit. Okay, in the RL circuit, you might get a doubt, sir, if it is a source free, how come it will be active circuit? So if it is a source free circuit, there is no source at all, how come the energy you will get to the resistors or any other element in the circuit? Yes, you can get energy. So if it is an RL circuit, actually what we know is L and C are the energy storing devices. So from L, so in L, so you will be having an initial current. So the initial current will actually drive the circuit. So the circuit might be source free. It is without a source, but the initial energy in the inductor will actually help to drive the circuit. Okay. So in case of RL, I naught will be driving the initial current that is present in the inductor will be driving the circuit. In case of RC, so initial voltage across the capacitor will be driving the circuit. In case of RLC, it can be L, it can be C, or it can be both. So you might be having an initial current in the inductor in an RLC circuit, or initial voltage across the capacitor, or both at the same time will actually help to drive the circuit. So this is about the brief description of source-free circuits. You might get a doubt. After seeing the source-free circuit, you might feel like, array, if the circuit is source-free, how come it will be active, or how come there will be some driven current will be there in the circuit? So these might be your doubts. I think by this discussion, your doubts might be cleared. Now, so let's go for the first topic. We are going is a source-free RL circuit. We will start with source-free RL circuit, and then we will go with source-free RC circuit. Then we will take up forced response. Forced response, that means if it is not source-free circuit, you will be having a source at a time t tending to infinite. Okay, so that kind of circuit we will be taking. Even the switch is on, you will be having an active source at a time t tends to infinity. Then that kind of circuits are called with the source circuits. Okay, so we will be just looking at the waveforms. So if you want to check the inductor current in a source-free circuit, how it is behaving. So initially, what is the value of the current that is flowing through inductor? Finally, at t tending to infinite, what is the current flowing through the inductor? We will be seeing in case of RL circuit. In case of RC, if it is source-free, we will be seeing what is the initial voltage across the capacitor, what will be the final voltage, and in what is the trend it is following, whether it is decreasing, whether it is increasing, all these things we will be seeing, right? Yeah. So before starting, I would like to read a statement on source-free circuits. So generally, the source-free circuit will be having the highest energy at time t is equal to 0 plus. Okay. So 0 plus is the time instant just after the switch is turned on. Okay, turned on or turned off. Okay, just after the transient. Okay, yeah. So I will just read out this property. In all the source-free circuits, stored energy in the memory element are maximum at t is equal to 0 plus. And as a function of time, these stored energies will be delivered to the memoryless resistance. So if it is an RL, then from L, it will be the power or the energy will be delivered to the resistance. If it is RC, from capacitor it will be delivered. If it is RLC, so from both it can be delivered. Okay, so but the energies in the energy storing element at t is equal to 0 plus will be maximum, and at t is equal to infinite will be minimum. Okay, so it will I mean, like t is equal to infinite is a large amount of time. So by that time, whatever the energy that is stored in the inductor and capacitor, it will be completely dissipated and it will become zero. So energy has to become zero. Okay, so that means, you know, it will be maximum and it will be minimum at infinite, maximum at t is equal to 0 plus. That means it has to follow some trend. What is the trend? What is the waveform you get? That we will be seeing. Okay, so just keep the heading source free RL circuit. Source free RL circuit. So first we will be going with source free RL circuit, then RC circuit, then with the source RC and RL circuit. So after that, all the four is done. Then we will be going with RLC circuit. Okay, and we will be checking all the conditions. Yeah. So what is the source free RL circuit after the switch is turned off? That means previously, before time t is equal to 0, there might be some active source that is connected to the inductor. Now there won't be any active source, and this circuit is purely with R and L only. So this is the circuit. Okay. Now, so we are assuming, we have to assume, otherwise if you don't assume the initial current flowing through the inductor, there is no meaning of this source free circuit. Okay, yeah, this is I naught, and obviously if the current direction is something like this, so we are assuming some current I is flowing, and obviously if the direction of the current is something like this, so what happens to the polarities across the inductor? This will be positive, negative, and it is VL. Okay, and in the same way, if it is going in the clockwise direction, this will be positive, negative, and it is VR, and this is resistance. So this is the circuit. If this is the circuit, now our analysis is completely restricted. We can actually do the analysis and find the waveform trend of the current flowing through the inductor with some two methods. One is using differential equations, you can do it. And the second one is with Laplace transformation. So in this class, what I am discussing is only Laplace transformation method, not a differential equation. Differential equations also, with the differential equations also, you can write an equation first, and then you can find the solution for it. After that, what is the initial conditions? Based on that, we will be again trying to find the final current flowing. Okay, so differential equations also we can do it, but we are not doing, as in your syllabus he specifically mentioned. So analysis of source free circuits using Laplace transformation he mentioned. So that's why we are only going with Laplace transformation but not going with differential equations. Okay, so in order to go with Laplace transformation, so what we have to do, what we know is, here you have inductor, and the inductor is also having an initial current. So if this is like this, what we know, we can redraw this circuit with some initial current, with some current source and inductor also we can do it. So how we can do? So I told you before, so the inductor with an initial current I naught in this particular direction, we can redraw it with inductor and some parallel combination of current source. Parallel combination of current source, and this is I naught, and this is L. I naught, and this is L. So this is how we'll be drawing. Yeah. So in the last video also I have explained about it, and this, that is what I am doing now. If I just divide it and redraw the circuit, so what it becomes, it will be resistance. So at this point we are keeping the same inductor, and then there is a parallel current source. And there is a parallel current source. This is I naught. Okay, and this is L. Okay, so this is how we will be doing. Okay, and the same current will be entering, and this is in time domain. Be careful, guys. So we have not converted this whole circuit into a frequency domain. So frequency domain means S domain is also a frequency domain. So once we convert that, what happens, we will see. So always we know is, so if you want to convert K using Laplace transformation, what we will do, K is actually a constant. So we will be doing K by S. Okay. And if it is R is actually not the frequency component. So we will keep it like that only. And if it is L, we have to convert into frequency component to actually compare with the resistance. If you convert it into frequency domain, S domain, then we can say the units is also in ohms. So this is SL, L to SL, and if it is I of T, so we have to replace it with capital I of S. Okay, so whatever the small things, small representations, small letter representations will be moving to capital letter in S domain analysis. Okay, if it is a constant, like if you have I naught, so we have to replace it with I naught divided by S. Now let's convert that into S domain analysis. S domain, convert S domain analysis. S domain. So if you convert into S domain, what happens? The resistor will be resistor only. And the inductor, we have to replace it with SL. Okay, and this is resistor. And there is a current source with this direction, and you have to replace it with I naught divided by S. I naught divided by S. Okay, so this is how we'll be replacing. Once we replace it, so either what our aim is to find what is the current flowing through the inductor over a period of time. So what is the over a period of time? For we have to find what is I of T. So once we convert that into S domain analysis, one second. This becomes I of S. So here I of T, what we have to find. So for T greater than or equal to 0, or that means you can say 0 less than T less than T, infinite. Okay, so for this time period, we have to find what is the current. Okay, now, so we got the circuit. Now, if you can also apply, find what is the current flowing through the inductor, and you can add, so you can do anything, but the thing is, so it is better we convert this current, current source and inductor using source transformation. using source transformation, we have to convert it. So for better analysis, so if you convert it, what happens? Try to apply it. So there is a resistor, same resistor will be there. And so if you just convert, the arrow head will be positive and the arrow tail will be negative. And it will become negative and positive because look at the direction. And what happens to the magnitude? Obviously, if it is a current and some resistance value is there. So let us say if you have some current, something like this, and there is a resistance, if you want to convert into voltage source and a resistor, what you will do? We will multiply current with resistance and you make that as a voltage source, and the arrow direction will actually represent the direction of arrow direction will actually represent the polarities of the voltage source. Okay, if you do it, what you get, I naught divided by S into SL will be the voltage source magnitude. So finally what you get, it is L into I naught. Finally what you get, it is L into I naught. It is L into I naught. So you got resistance. So this is resistance, this is L into I naught, and this is the same SL. So even if you convert, do source transformation, nothing happens. Okay, so these are the basics you should know. Now, what is our aim? To find what is I of S. So once we get I of S, we have to again do Laplace inverse of that I of S and find I of t. So that is our aim. Okay, so we have to find what is I of S. I of S in the clockwise direction, we have to find. That means, so obviously current is actually coming out of the positive. That means directly what is I of S? Directly we can say I of S is equal to L into I naught divided by SL plus R. So this is the I of S we get. And if you just take L common, what you get? It becomes, it is I naught divided by S plus R by L. Okay. Now with this, if you want I of t, what you get? I of t is nothing but Laplace inverse of I of S. That is nothing but I naught. So if you just try to make the Laplace inverse of 1 by S plus alpha, what you get? It is e power minus alpha t. So in the same way, so here the alpha is nothing but R by L. It's nothing but e power shit. So it is e power minus alpha t, or alpha is equal to minus R by L. So alpha is equal to R by L. So always what we know is 1 by S plus alpha. If you do Laplace inverse of it, it will be minus alpha t. So in the place of alpha, you have R by L. So that's why you get e power minus R by L into t. Okay. So this is I of t. Finally, we got it. So once you get I of t is nothing but I naught into e power minus R by L into t. You can also write this one e power minus t by tau, where since tau is equal to L by R. Here, so we have proved, so L by R is the time constant in RL circuits. Okay, and this is only applicable for first order. So the time constant will only be applicable for first order systems, because in the second order systems you might get two time constants, So there in the second order system, the time constant is undefined. So you cannot say one single time constant. So we will not define for second order or higher order systems the time constant. Only for first order systems we will be defining the time constant. Okay. Yes. Next. So this is about I of t. I of t is equal to I naught into e power minus t by tau. Now we will try to plot this I of t. We'll try to plot this I of t. If you try to plot this I of t, how you get? How it is looking? It is exponentially decaying e power minus t. So how the e power minus t will be there? It will be exponentially decaying and it will finally become 0. The same way it will be there. And what will be the value of I naught into e power minus some alpha into t? Some coefficient is there. Yes. So some decaying will be there. That depends upon the time constant. That depends upon the time constant. We will be seeing. So what will be the value of I of t at time t is equal to 0 plus? At time t is equal to 0 plus, what is the value? It is I naught. Just try to substitute, you will be getting I naught. So at time t is equal to tau, just try to substitute. Here you see I of t, I'll go with blue, at t is equal to tau. So what we got? It is I naught into e power minus t by tau, we told, right? So at t is equal to tau, just substitute this t with tau. This t with tau, you just substitute. What you get? So if you do that, what you get? It is I naught divided by e, and it is nothing but 0.3. Oh, 1 second. 38 something. So for I of t, for t is equal to tau, one time constant, what will be the value? It is I naught divided by e, and it turns out to be 0.3678 into I naught. Okay. So this is the value. Now, if you just try to see for one time constant, we will see. And I want to tell you that we need not to go up to time t is equal to infinite to find the final value. Why? Is because after 5 time constant, the almost it will be reaching the final value after 5 time constant itself. Okay, not required. You have to keep t is equal to infinite. Okay, so that means at t at tau is equal to t, at t is equal to tau, what is the value? So initially it is I naught and it has reduced to 0.3678. That means it has reduced by how much? How much percentage? So this is the x2 value. This is x1 value. X1 value is I naught and x2 value is 0.3678. 0.3678 I naught. That means how much it is reduced in one time constant? It is 0.632 I naught. So that means 63% of the initial value it has reduced. That means in one time constant, it is moving 63%. It is moving 63%. Okay. So after 2t, how much it has become? At t is equal to 2 tau, if you just substitute, what you are getting? You are getting 0.1353 I naught. So what is the meaning of 0.1353? That means it has reduced by, from I naught, it has gone down to 0.1353. That is, it is reduced by 86%. So that means what is the final state? Final state is obviously 0. So how much? So 0.1353 from I naught, from 1 to it is moving to 0.1353. 0.53. It is almost equal to 0.14. That is around 86% it has reduced. Okay, that means the current value has moved 86% closer to the final value, you can say. You can also say the current value in the inductor has moved 86% closer to the final value. Final value is 0 and it has moved 86%. So in 2 time constants. Okay, so like that, 3 time constant, what is the value? It is 0.05, approximately equal to 0.05. That means it has moved 95% near to the final value. And in 4 time constants, it has moved 98%. So that means in 5 time constant, how much? 99.32% it has moved closer to final value. Final value is 0. It is almost equal to 0.0067 is almost equal to 0 only, right? So that means you can say, what we can conclude is here not required T should be infinite. Not required T must be tending to infinite. You can also take T is equal to 5 tau. At this, almost you will be getting the final value itself. So that means what we can conclude here. So we are getting a final value after 5 time constants. Okay. So this is what my opinion, my point is. Okay. So this is I of T. Now, once you get with RL circuit, now if you can also check for what is the energy, how the energy. Now current is decreasing in this fashion. What happens to the energy present in the inductor? How it is decreasing? So what we know, energy in the inductor. What is the formula of energy in the inductor? Half Li square. If you take energy, EL is equal to half L into I of T square, you can say, or simply you can say half Li square is sufficient. I don't want to confuse. Half Li square will give you the energy in the inductor, or if you just go for E of EL of T, it is nothing but half into L into I of T whole square. So what is that? Half into L into what is I of T? I of T is nothing but I naught into e power minus T by tau whole square. Okay, so it is nothing but 1 by 2 into L into I naught into e power minus 2T divided by tau. So what we can understand is, we are not going into the details of how the waveform will look, but the thing is, I'll just give you the idea. Here, previously you have e power minus T, right? So here you have e power minus 2T. So that means whatever the decaying is happening, it will decay 2 times faster. It will decay 2 times faster. The energy in the inductor, what we can go for the note is, the energy in the inductor, will decay 2 times faster than current decay. Okay, so this is what the conclusion of energy in the inductor. So there might be some slow decay in the current, but the energy in the inductor will decay 2 times faster. Now let's go for RC circuit, source free RC circuit. So what we understand before is, so even if it is source free RC circuit or source free RL circuit, initially at T is equal to 0, you are having the highest energy because the initial value is high, highest energy is there. And after T is becoming to 5 time constants, almost the energy in the inductor is becoming 0. So even in the case of RC, so initially the capacitor will be having the highest energy. At T tends to 5 time constants, the energy in the capacitor will decay. Okay. Yeah, so the same waveform, how you are seeing the waveform, the same waveform you will be getting in the case, same plot you will be getting in even in the case of voltage across the capacitor. Okay, so now we will take one more. It is now source free RC circuit. So there we have found what is I of t to find what is the shape of the plot. Now we will be taking what is V of t. So for that, what we will do, just take a resistor, exactly the same circuit how we have taken before, and take a capacitor. But unlike the current flowing through the inductor, the voltage across the capacitor is exactly same as the voltage across the resistor. So in case of current will be having a loop direction, some direction will be there. If some direction is there, depending on the direction of current, we will be going with polarities. But here it is not the case. Here, if there is some polarities across the capacitor, plus V0, some voltage is there, the same voltage polarities will be appeared across the resistor also. Why? Because this is some active. Okay, so the same voltage will be applied across the resistor. But in case of current, what happens is, current, depending on the current direction, we will be telling. So as in the inductor, there is some current flowing. Depending on the current direction, we have given the polarities. But here, this is this point is very, very important in as far as the derivation is concerned. Here, the polarities across the capacitor is positive, negative, and this V0 is nothing but the initial voltage on the capacitor. It is nothing but the initial voltage on the capacitor. So if that is the case, the same polarities will be applied across the resistor. So this is the point you have to remember, and this is VR. Okay. Now what happens if you just try to convert it into, I mean, if you have some initial voltage on the capacitor, how we will be drawing. So I told you before, so if there is a capacitor with some initial voltage plus minus V0 with that polarities, we can draw it. We can take it something like this, plus minus V0 and a simple capacitor. Okay, so just try to replace. If you try to replace, it is resistor and there is a capacitor, or you can also keep it this way. It is better. Capacitor and some voltage source with positive and negative polarities. Okay, so like that we will be taking. And what we know is we have to find what is the voltage across the capacitor, what is the trend of the voltage. So how it is decaying, we have to find. Okay, so along with the initial voltage we have to take. So that means we have to take this we have to find. Let us say this is A and this is B, and V of t we have to find, or you can say VC of t, anything else. Okay, this is resistor and the polarity will be exactly same as before, and this will be also positive, negative. Now this is the case, what happens? Now in case of capacitor, if you convert it into S domain analysis, so C will be replaced with 1 by SC. C will be replaced with, if you apply Laplace transformation, it is 1 by SC. Okay, so it is nothing but resistor we won't be touching, and if there is some constant voltage, it will be V naught divided by S, and here it will be plus minus, 1 second, not required, plus minus, it is 1 by SC. Okay, and this is resistor. Okay, and we need to find what is V of t. V of t we can easily find with the voltage across the resistor is nothing but the V of t, clearly. But if you want to find voltage across the capacitor, then what we have to do is we have to also add this voltage, this V naught voltage also we have to add after finding voltage across the capacitor. So then only you will be getting V of t. So V of t here can be written as either directly we can say it is VR of t, it is VR of t, you can say VR of t, or you can also say it is VC of t plus the initial voltage V naught. So you can take anything. After finding, you can do it like that. Okay, yeah. So not plus VC, no, it will be, if you take plus minus V of t, it becomes, okay, as the direction of current will be in anti-clockwise direction, so it will be V naught minus VC of t will give you actually V of t, or directly we can find it with VR of t. So anything is fine. So which one you will do? I am doing it with VR of t because it is simple to do. So we have converted into S domain analysis, and now we will be finding what is V of t, or in the time domain analysis it is V of t, but in S domain analysis it will be V of S, capital V of S, and this is how you will find. Now just look at the direction of voltage source, it is V naught divided by S, and how will be the current direction will be something like this, yes or no? Okay, so if that is the case, what happens? You will be getting I of S. I of S is nothing but how much? V naught divided by S divided by 1 by SC plus R. Okay, this is I of S. Now, if you once you get I of S, what happens to V of S? V of S is nothing but simple. It is nothing but current into resistance will give you V of S. That's it. V naught divided by S into 1 by SC plus R whole multiplied with R. That's it. Simple. Okay. Now, so just try to do some calculations. If you do some calculations, yes will be getting cancelled. So it is V naught into R divided by S into 1 plus SCR divided by SC. So S gets cancelled. So once S gets cancelled, you can take this C to the top. So once you take that to the top, what happens? It is V naught into RC divided by 1 plus SCR. So now we want in this fashion, K divided by S plus alpha format we have to get. So then only we can convert, we can actually apply inverse Laplace transformation and we can get it. So for that, we have to take CR common. If you take CR common, this RC and CR gets cancelled, and what it becomes? It becomes V naught divided by 1 plus, so S plus V naught divided by S plus 1 by RC. V naught divided by 1 S plus 1 by RC is actually V of S. Actually V of S. And so in order to find V of t, what is V of t is equal to Laplace inverse of V of S. So what you get, it is nothing but here also you are getting V naught into e power minus t by tau, that is RC. Tau is equal to RC, and we can, so as we got the equation here also, we can say tau is equal to RC from the equation. If you compare it, this equation with e power minus t by tau, you try to compare this equation with e power minus t by tau. So with that, tau is equal to RC for RC source free circuit. Okay. Yeah. So we got it. Now here also we are having some initial voltage on the capacitor, that is energies at a time t is equal to 0 plus is highest, and at time t is equal to infinite, if you just substitute t is equal to infinite, you will be getting 0. So it has to decay to 0. The energies, whatever it is there, it has to decay to 0. Yes. In the same way, previously how we have seen how we got I of t, in the same way we will be getting for V of t also. So I'm not drawing it again, it will take much more time. So the same way you will be getting, this is time t is equal to infinite, or you can say this is 5 time constants. Here also there are 5 time constants, 1 time constant, 2, 3, and 4, something like that. And it is starting at V naught. It is decaying. So it will be decaying like this. Okay. Yeah. The same way how we got the energy across the capacitor also decays 2 times faster than the voltage across the capacitor. This is VC of t, you can say. So VC of t is actually what? So it is actually decaying exponentially. It is having the highest energy with the initial voltage V naught, and lowest at t tends to infinite, or after 5 time constants also, almost all the energy will be gone. Yeah. So this is about source free RC circuit. Now we will be going for sourced RC circuits. Give me 1 minute. Now we shall go for source with source, response of RC circuit or voltage across the capacitor with source, and without initial conditions also we can take. Okay. Yeah. So what is the heading I am keeping is RC circuit. We can also do it for RL circuit, but I am doing it with RC circuit first. RC circuit with source and without initial conditions. With initial conditions also we can do it, but with the source and without initial conditions first we will do, and we will actually expand it to without initial with initial conditions also. At a time t is equal to infinite also, you will be having a source connected to the circuit. So then it is called with the source circuit, RC circuit with the source and without initial conditions. So with source and without initial conditions. Here, what we will do. So the circuit will be, now let us take this circuit as it is DC transient. So all the sources we are using is DC. So there is, let us assume there is a switch, and switch is turned on at t is equal to 0. So before that, the switch is not turned on, and there is R and C. And as we are not assuming any initial conditions, the voltage across the capacitor initially, that is at VC of 0 minus, that is equal to VC of 0 plus, that is equal to 0. Okay, this happens. So no initial conditions, that means VC of 0 plus is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. So no initial conditions. There is resistor, there is a capacitor, and there is some voltage connected even at a time t is equal to infinite. In that case, how the response will be there? What is the status of voltage across the capacitor? We have to see. So initially we will be taking, we have to find what is voltage across the capacitor for with source case. Yeah. So we can also do it with two methods, as it is a first domain. I mean, as it is a first order system, you can do it with a shortcut, or you can also do it with Laplace transformation. So how shortcut, I will tell you, but first we will be doing with Laplace transformation. So see, so if you convert this one after t is equal to 0, the switch on. If the switch is on, what happens? Switch is on. There is a resistor and there is a capacitor. So across this capacitor, we have to find. So once we convert that into Laplace transformation, this S will become 1 by SC and R will remain as an R because it is not a frequency component, but capacitor is a frequency component. That's why you got 1 by SC. And this is voltage. And as it is a constant voltage, we have to, if you convert it into S domain analysis, it will be V divided by S. And finally, you get, this is the circuit. Now we have to find what is the voltage across the capacitor. So previously it is VC of t, and now it becomes VC of S. Okay, so it is a simple voltage division. What we get? VC of S is equal to, total voltage is V of S, V divided by S into 1 by SC, because we have to find what is the voltage across the capacitor. So 1 by SC divided by 1 by SC plus R. So if you do this, what happens? 1 by SCR, it becomes V divided by S into 1 divided by 1 plus SCR you get. Because 1 by SC gets cancelled. Or if you just take the LCM, SC gets cancelled. So what we know is we have to bring in S plus alpha terms. So you have to take this CR common. Just take that CR common, RC. So what happens? If you just take that as common, V divided by RC, you can keep it. And you can bring this S inside. 1 divided by S into S plus 1 by RC, you can say. So this is how you get. So here we have to do some partial fractions, guys. If you do partial fractions, so basically if you have 1 by X into X plus alpha, something like that you have, we can convert into A divided by X plus or minus, we don't know. Or you can say B divided by X plus alpha. X plus alpha. So for that, to get A, we can, you might be knowing the longer method, but the shortcut is, so whatever, here you have X and X plus alpha. If you are taking for X, if you are finding the component of X, so that is A, just take X out. And X is nothing but 0. So this is the characteristic root for X. X is equal to 0 and X is equal to minus alpha. These are the two roots. Yes or no? So X is equal to 0, just to substitute in the remaining equation. So just to substitute X is equal to 0, the characteristic root in the remaining equation. If you substitute X is equal to 0, you are getting 1 by alpha. A is equal to, for A substitute, A is equal to X is equal to 0 in what? At X is equal to 0 in the remaining equation, except that X. Okay. So if you do that, you are getting 1 by alpha. So in the same way, do it for B. So if you are doing it for x is equal to minus alpha, just do it. If you do it, so we have to remove x plus alpha because we are finding the coefficient of x plus alpha only. We have to remove that. Once we remove it, we are left with only 1 by x. So in place of x, we have to replace minus alpha. So that means it is 1 by minus alpha. That is nothing but 1 minus 1 by alpha. So you got a and b. So in the same case, in the same way, if you try to find the coefficients of two roots, s and s plus 1 by rc, what you get is, so here I think you understood. Okay, so if you do that, what happens is here is equal to v divided by rc into a. A is nothing but here whatever the alpha it is there, that is a, or 1 by alpha you get, that is rc you get, plus rc you get, plus rc divided by s minus rc you get. So that means even though it is plus here, as you are getting minus rc, we are keeping minus here, minus rc divided by s plus 1 by rc. Okay, so rc gets cancelled, and finally what you get, it is 1 by s. So what is v of s? You're getting, this is v of s. V of s is nothing but vc of s is nothing but v into 1 by s minus 1 by s plus 1 by. So this is what we get. Now for this, you have to get vc of t. What is vc of t? Laplace inverse of vc of s. If you do it, Laplace inverse of 1 by s will be constant 1. Okay, so the same value you will have v into 1 minus, this is 1 by s plus alpha. So you can say e power minus t by tau, or you can say rc. So this is what the equation you get. Now we will try to plot what is vc of t for RC circuit with source and without initial conditions. With initial conditions also we can get, it is simple, but without initial conditions we have taken, and with initial conditions also, if he asked to derive, you have to derive. Okay. So we will try to plot what is VC of t. So what is the final value? So with VC of t is equal to V into 1 minus e power minus t by. Okay, let me not go over the top. So VC of t is nothing but a V into 1 minus e power minus t by RC. So this is the equation you got. Now at t is equal to 0, what you are getting? T is equal to 0, just substitute e power 0, that is 1, e power minus 0 or e power 0. Finally, you will be getting 1 only. So and VC of t will be V into 0, that is 1. That is 1. Okay. So 1 minus 1, it becomes 0. So VC of t, it is 0. What is the value? It is 0. It is 0. At t is equal to 0, VC of t is equal to 0. Okay. And VC of t is equal to 0. And at t is equal to infinite, what you are getting, you see? Infinite, If you just substitute e power minus infinite, it becomes 1 by e power infinite. E power infinite is infinite. 1 by infinite. 1 by infinite is 0. So finally, what you get? 1 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. So finally, Vc of infinite is equal to V. So that means final value is V. Final value is V. Initial value is 0. Previously, that is a different case. It is only decaying. In source-free circuits, it will start at some point, some energy point, and it is decaying. Now, what happens? It is not starting at some point, but it is starting decaying. No, so it is not starting at some point, but it is starting at 0, and it is moving to some final value. Final value we got, that is V. How it is moving? It is important. Obviously, there is an exponential function there. So definitely it has to move exponentially only. So it starts here. And it will be moving in the exponential way. So this is the waveform you get. And for one time constant, how much it will be moving? More than half, that is 63% of the final value we will be getting at one time constant. You can also check it. For one time constant, t is equal to tau. It will be 0.632 into V. So for two time constants, 86% it will be moving. For three time constants, it will be 95%. For four time constants, it will be 98%. For five time constants, it will be 99.3%. Okay, so almost it is reaching to the final value, 99% of V. Almost it is reached final value by t is equal to 5 time constant. So that is very, very important. Okay, so this is Vc of t with source. With source V and without initial conditions. With source V and without initial conditions. Now you can also try it for with initial conditions also. What happens with initial conditions? Here in the circuit, you will be having one extra voltage source, that is plus minus V0. Whatever the polarity it is charged with, the same polarities will be there. If it is positive negative, it will be positive negative. If it is negative positive, it is charged, the capacitor is charged, it will be negative positive. Okay, so in that way you have to keep it, and you can again do it. Okay, so here V0 by S is V divided by S is there. Here you will also get one more component, that is V0 divided by S. If you just take one, it becomes V minus V0 it becomes, because see, it is starting with minus, and if you are going in this path, obviously you are getting minus. First starting with minus and plus you are getting, so some subtraction will be there. So you can say only one change will be there. In place of V, you have to keep V minus V0 if there is any initial conditions with these polarities, with positive negative. If it is negative positive, then the scene will be different. So we should be very, very careful with that. Okay, yeah, I think you understood. Now I will explain that initial conditions case with a shortcut. Okay, so what is the shortcut? So in order to find any function, either it is voltage or current, if you are finding x of t is equal to x of infinite plus x of 0 plus minus x of infinite into e power minus t by tau. Okay, so this is the generalized equation for anything. So you can find voltage across the capacitor, current through the inductor, anything else. So I told you many a time. Okay, even in the previous video, I have told this. Now, if you want to find VC of t, first we will try with this equation without initial conditions and with some source. So what we know, if you go for the circuit, this is the circuit. No initial conditions means VC of 0 plus is 0. VC of t is equal to VC of infinite plus VC of 0 plus minus VC of infinite into e power minus t by tau. Okay, so here this is the circuit after the switch is closed. This is RC, and at final state, the capacitor is treated as a open circuit. So if it is treated as open circuit, what happens to the voltage across the capacitor? VC of infinite. So obviously it is open circuit, no current flows, no drop will be there in the resistor. So whatever the voltage that is there, the same voltage will be there across the capacitor. That is V. Okay, so the final value is V. Just substitute V is VC of infinite with V, and see, this is V plus. So VC of 0 plus is nothing but 0 minus, and again V into e power minus t by tau. So if you do it, you will be getting V into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. The same equation what we got with the derivation or without the derivation, and taking the shortcut also, we got it. Okay, so this is VC of t. Now you can also find it with the initial conditions. Try it with initial conditions. Now at x of 0 plus or VC of 0 plus is some V naught, let us say. Some V naught, just try to substitute and tell me what you get. VC of t with initial conditions. With initial conditions is equal to VC of infinite. So whatever may be the initial voltage, finally you will be getting V only, because that will be open circuit at t is equal to infinite only. So this VC of 0 plus is some V naught, V plus V naught minus V into e power minus t by tau. So if you do it, what happens? It is V into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. Okay. Plus V naught into e power minus t by tau. So this is what you get. Okay. Yeah. Or you can keep it this way only. V plus V naught minus V into e power minus t by tau. So you can keep it the same way with initial conditions. Now you can also do it for RL circuit, source with the source RL circuit. RL circuit with the source and without initial conditions. Okay, what happens? So here the same voltage source I am taking. Either you can take current source also, but I am taking a voltage source. The switch will be there and switch will be turned on at t is equal to 0. This is switch, and this is voltage, and there is a resistor, and there is inductor instead of voltage. So obviously, if it is inductor, definitely we have to find what is the current flowing through the inductor. That is IL of T we have to find. This is R, this is L. If you try to convert it into S domain, frequency domain, so this will be V divided by S, and this will be switch is closed. So let's assume the switch is closed. The resistance is not frequency component, so no need to touch. And this will become SL, and this is V by S. And finally, what is the current flowing? It is capital IL of S. So what is this IL of S? IL of S is nothing but the voltage divided by total resistance. That's it. Okay, so what is this IL of S? Is equal to V divided by S into R plus SL. Okay, if you do that, what happens? V divided by S into R plus SL. Okay, now just take L common. It becomes V divided by L into 1 divided by S into S plus R by L. So the same thing we got it. Now, if you do the partial fractions, what you get is V divided by L into L by R into S minus L by R into S plus R by L. So this is IL of S. So if you want to convert into time domain, that is IL of T, that is Laplace inverse, you do it. It is IL of S. What you get? It is nothing but V divided by R into 1 minus, because LL gets cancelled, so R you will get 1 minus e power minus T by tau, or minus RT by L. RT by L. So this is what IL of T you get. If it is IL of T, how? So initial value, it is 0 again. So T is equal to 0. If you substitute initial value, you are getting 0. But what is the final value? Final value is nothing but V by R you will be getting. If you try to look at the waveform for the inductor current with source, this is IL of T, and so the final value at T is equal to 0, IL of T at T is equal to 0 plus is equal to 0. At T is equal to infinite, IL of T at T is equal to infinite is equal to V divided by R. So final value we just found out, that is V divided by R. Now we will fix it. Obviously, if it is final value and initial value is 0 and you are having some E component there, IL of T is nothing but V divided by R into 1 minus e power minus T by tau. So this is E component is there, so it will be exponentially rising. So something like this, it will go. So at 5 time constants, you will reach almost the final value. That's it. So this is how you will have. Okay. Now we can also go for RLC. So I would like to check my notes. I would like to ask you to check my notes for different plots of voltage across the resistor, voltage across the capacitor, total current, and power equation, all these things for RC circuit. So for RC circuit, what we got, voltage across the capacitor, RC with source, we have voltage across the capacitor, what we got, it is rising. Now, what I want you to do is, you try to find it for what is the voltage across the capacitor, voltage is the voltage across the resistor, VR of t for sourced circuit. How to find for voltage across the capacitor? That is, just do the voltage division. In the same way, do it for resistor and try to find whether you are getting the same increasing trend or decreasing trend you see. Okay, once you do it, and after that you just check my notes. Check my notes. I have produced you, I have given you, shared you in the group. Okay, so this is about transients of source free and forced response in the cases of RL and RC with initial conditions and without initial conditions. Okay, now I think the time is almost one and a half hour, so we shall stop here. And for RLC circuit, I will be making one more video, and purely there will be one more video for problems, and it will be of one and a half hour, and all the models, most of the models will be covered in that problems video. Okay, thank you.